Welcome to this time lapse. We've got an artichoke. Reference image is from Unsplash. The name of the photographer is Joanna Cosin. I hope I said that correctly. So we're working on the Pastelmat paper here. I'm working on the light grey on the right, on the left, and the sand colour on the right. So I'm doing two images at once. It was actually an idea from a gallery owner where I have some of my work. He wants me to produce these little veggie still lives or fruit still lives at a lower price so that more people can own art. And he says it's quite popular for people to come in and buy small pieces, and sometimes they'll buy, two or three. So that's why I'm doing a whole collection of all these little paintings. The size is 17 centimeters by 17 centimeters squared. And instead of doing one at a time, I'm doing two because it's much faster. I was dubious when he first suggested I work like this because I was like, that's just not me. But it's actually working out really nicely because you've already got your pastels laid out. And it took me an hour and a half to produce two paintings. So it's really cost efficient. It's time management at its best, or so far for me anyway. So I'm very happy. That is why I've got two images on screen. Obviously, I'm not going to produce hundreds of these and sell hundreds of these, but I'm doing two at a time, and I'm changing it up. I've got artichokes, garlic, avocado pears, which I've released here, coconuts, dragon fruit, all different types of fruit and veg, pomegranates, which will be coming soon. Anyway, so because I cover the entire paper in pastel, it doesn't really matter what color paper I go for. So the finished product looked exactly the same on either the light grey or the sand color. It didn't make a difference, not that I could see for the end result. I've cropped the original image so that I've just got the artichoke. It's actually a still life set up with a jug and another artichoke in the jug. But for this, I'm needing pieces of art that will come together quite quickly. I used mainly the Terry Ludwig's Dark Intense 2 set for this. And I didn't have any colors that were right exactly. If you look at the reference photograph, it's quite a red violet, a dark red violet color. I have a lot of blue violets, but red violets, I find them trickier to get hold of with pastels. So I had to build up and make up the color as best I could. So I started off with a mixture of pastels that had a lot of blue in them, a lot of purples with blue, and then added a few magentas and then the few red violets from the Dark Intense 2 set. So just building up to get the shape, the round shape of the petals of that artichoke, putting in my darks, my midtones, and as you can see, I'm using like a lilac-y purple for my midtones, and it's starting to take shape, it's starting to take form. So for the petals, I added in a little bit of it's like a khaki green sort of color. So that's a little piece of Sennelier. And then just adding in on the edge of those petals an ultramarine blue pastel pencil just to define them a little bit more. As you can see, I need to sort out my studio lighting because we went from a very blue light to more of an orange light. I need to sort it out so I can get the colors right. But anyway, the more patrons I have, the more I will be able to spend money on better recording equipment. That's the idea anyway. So overall, this painting, I used a lot of cooler colors, and I kind of wished I'd brought in more warmth. So on the table here, I'm using Blue Violet number 2 from Unison, which is a very light lilac color. And there was grey on the table, like a blue grey from Unison as well. I also used a dark navy. So they're all very much closer to blue. And I really do wish I had included some lights that were closer to the orange. And I also think purple and orange work beautifully together. So if I was to do this again, that's one big change that I would make. I would add in a warm glow for the light instead of keeping it so cool. So in the stem though, we've got a little bit of warmth from the yellow, or from the yellow in the green pastels. But still, it wasn't enough. It's the light on the table. I just think it needed some warmth. But I only realized this looking back, doing the actual demo voiceover, looking back, going, ooh, how can I make this better? It's the questions I'm always asking myself is, am I happy with what I produced? What am I happy with and what am I not happy with? And what can I do to change it, to make the painting work better? And so looking back on this, that is definitely one of the things I would change. As soon as I've got pastel covered on the whole piece of paper, I then go back over everything and make adjustments. So you can see in the background there, I added a bit more blue violet, and also here on the table. I feel like it needed to make the whole painting a bit more cohesive. But you can see this in real time on my Patreon. If you are interested, I will leave a link in the description below. But this is coming to an end now. So thanks for watching. Bye.